250 ethnic groups, different languages, and then you decide not to look into Nigeria as a country, or look into the Yoruba culture as a tribe and see all the diverse ethnic groups in Yoruba and pick and do your research to even pick the best styles or the best looks or the best distinct for your film. And if you're even going to now switch things up a little bit with the style and the look, but let it still be authentic. Hey guys, what's going on? How are you guys doing? You're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Adeyemi Olowoshagba, and all I do here is talk about films, talk about movie production, be it Nollywood, be it Hollywood. I'm also a filmmaker based in Lagos, Nigeria, so I also talk about my work. I'm a post-production specialist, I'm a post-production supervisor, I'm a cinematographer, I'm also an editor, and I'm also a movie buff. So I'm like you. If you like movies, if you love movies, if you're a fan of movies, if not as a professional, if as a fan, if you're a fan of movies and all that, we are in the same boat. We are the same, literally, and that's what I do on this channel. I talk about films, I review films, I share my thoughts on films and movies. So please, if you enjoy this content and you'd like to see more of it, please, I encourage you and I beg you to please hit the subscribe button, like this video. Let me know your thoughts as well in the comments about what you think about the video, about what you think about the topic I'm discussing today, and anything else you'd like to share. Please don't also hesitate to share with friends. If there's anything you hear me say that sparks your curiosity or that sparks your interest, please share with your friends and let me know in the comments. So today is a special day because I'm going to be talking about, the trailer for, I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer for the book adaptation of Tomi Adeyemi's Children of Blood and Bone. I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer, but the trailer dropped, I think, yesterday, and there's been a lot of talk about it.
My daughter, you must not be afraid. Orisha was once a land where magic flowed through our people. You were born with a gift greater than you know. But those who feared our power took it away from us.
Before I started seeing people's comments about it on social media, people sharing their thoughts, I already had a reaction from within me. I already felt a certain way about the trailer from within me. I felt a certain type of way about it, and immediately I felt that way. I went straight to my work group where I have my colleagues who are also filmmakers. I went straight there and I immediately started, sharing my thoughts about how I felt, sent the link to them and asked them to also watch it. And those who even watched it already immediately started, sharing their thoughts on the trailer. And I thought, yeah, it's only fair that I come here and share my thoughts with you guys as well. And of course, hear what you guys think about the trailer and about the first impression, actually, because for me it's a case of first impression. Now, if you don't know about Children of Blood and Bone, well, Children of Blood and Bone was a book written by Tomi Adeyemi, an American writer with strong Nigerian roots. She's literally first generation Nigerian American, but I don't like to call people like that Nigerian American. She was born in America. I'll call her Black American, and a great writer at that. Bestseller in 2018, was #1, so the book did really well, made global acclaim, and God gave her some strong recognition. She won a couple of awards for writing, that amazing book. And then, of course, Hollywood approached her and said, what, we want to do a book adaptation we want to adapt your story, the book, into a film and all that. And I think she initially agreed. She still agreed. Her name is on the book, her name is on the film as well, as a writer, and she got credit as a writer and as the author of the book itself. So yeah, that's that about Tomi Adeyemi and the book. And of course, the book itself is a Yoruba it's a Yoruba mythology story, and it's not an original story. It's a fantasy, right? So let's keep that in mind. It is a fantasy, and with fantasies, it's whatever ideas you have that you want to put together, but it's going to be based on a particular culture or a particular tribe or a particular location. That's what it is. Just the way you have Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, and all those epic fantasies and epic mythologies that people write, but they're usually based on a particular tribe or based on a particular place or a mixture of cultures or tribes that they bring together to come up with this, epic fantasies or epic mythological stories, which is exactly what she did. But what makes this more interesting is that this is a Yoruba, West African, and predominantly Yoruba story. And if you know about Yoruba, if you read about the Yoruba history, you know that it is very, very strong and very, very culturally nuanced in so many ways, and it's also very heavy on authenticity. Yoruba is very heavy on authenticity, from the dialects to the language to the mannerisms to the expressions, body language. It's heavy on all those things. The Yoruba culture is heavy on all these things. How you talk, how you act, how you respond, the things you do, the clothes you wear, and everything. So if you now decide to make a Yoruba fantasy film, right? You decide to make a Yoruba fantasy film. The best you can do is to respect the culture itself and try as much as possible, no matter how much creative liberty you feel you have as a filmmaker or as a storyteller, because of course it's fantasy, it's not an original story anyways, so you feel like you have creative liberty to turn and change some things, adjust some things and everything. As much as you have all that, let some things be authentic. Let it be at least authentic to the culture and the tribe that you're trying to depict, that you're trying to portray in your story. That's how I feel. Now, first thing I had issues with is what I just spoke about, authenticity. I didn't feel like it was authentic enough just from seeing the trailer. I didn't feel like it was authentic enough. I didn't feel like I couldn't relate to a lot of things, and you called it a Yoruba story, right? I couldn't just relate to a lot of things just from watching the trailer. I couldn't relate to the very few things that I could relate to was the fact that a lot of the characters are black, right? And maybe some things. Now imagine this film that is supposed to be a Yoruba mythological story, right? Mythological fantasy, right? And then you decide to go and film this film 100% in South Africa. Now, what's your excuse? You claim in your own way. I'm sure the excuse will be that South Africa has the climate. South Africa has the perfect weather to film a project like that. South Africa has the resources or the equipment. I think that's BS. That's BS for a lot of reasons, because you can bring all those equipment to Nigeria to film. You can do that. So you can't make that, you can't use that as an excuse. But of course, they will also talk about insecurity in Nigeria, which I think is also BS, because there are so many places in Nigeria that are secure that you can go to film. All you need to do is you have the funds to even provide your own security. So I also think that aspect is complete BS. So first of all, authenticity dead, in my opinion. Lacks authenticity, lacks believability. You can't call this a Nigerian story. Why? Which takes me to my second point. So the production design and the costume was giving Wakanda Forever Reloaded. Honestly, the production design and the costume was just giving Wakanda, even the hairstyles, it was just giving Wakanda Forever Reloaded, Wakanda Forever Upgraded, or like a spin-off of Wakanda Forever, or a spin-off of Wakanda. That was all it was giving, and honestly didn't make any sense to me. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all, because that means you guys lack originality. Because bro, we have so many styles, so many looks that you can try. Nigeria alone has over 250 ethnic groups. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like 250 ethnic groups, different languages, and then you decide not to look into Nigeria as a country, or look into the Yoruba culture as a tribe and see all the diverse ethnic groups in Yoruba and pick and do your research to even pick the best styles or the best looks or the best distinct for your film. And if you're even going to now switch things up a little bit with the style and the look, but let it still be authentic to the tribe or the ethnic group that you're trying to portray, or the, I mean, like, just make it make sense that way, you know. But sadly, they didn't do that in this film, in this trailer. I mean, in the whole production design and costume design that I saw, everything was just giving Wakanda Forever 2.0, and honestly, was absolute BS. Bro, the casting of this film was also giving The Woman King 2.0. That was how I felt. I felt like, am I watching The Woman King Reloaded as well? Like, is this the Woman King 2.0? Because I'm seeing Viola Davis, I'm seeing the girl that played the lead in Viola Davis' film The Woman King, like 3 or 4 actors in The Woman King, and these are predominant, these are key characters in The Woman King, right? We're also key characters in this film, and you put them in the trailer in our face. What are you trying to tell us? That means you're trying to do copy and paste. That means you're trying to tell us that you did copy and paste, just carry those actors in The Woman King and their look and their skin tone, carried everything and brought it into this film, and then threw it at us and tell us, what are you going to do about it? You're still going to go to the cinemas and watch it. We know you. That's what you're telling us. Honestly, that's how I feel. That's what I feel. Like, yeah, we can repeat anything and there's nothing you can do about it. It's, you know, you go to the cinemas and watch it now. That's how I feel. I feel like it's a slap on our faces telling us that there's nothing you can do about it. Like, we don't have actors in Nigeria, right? We don't have actors in Nigeria anymore. Like, all our actors are dancing gelede. If you understand Yoruba, you understand what I just said. Or if you understand Yoruba, what I just said will make sense to you. Like, our actors are not acting anymore. They're only like video vixens, right? Because make it make sense that you can't do like proper research with your casting. Worst case scenario, you train these actors, you have to fund into it. It's even cheaper to even cast our own actors, in all fairness. Cheaper to cast our actors, and the film has sold itself. The film doesn't need the ensemble cast to sell. That is one thing I would like to put out there. So nobody should tell me that our faces, the faces of our actors cannot sell the film. That is absolute BS. The film itself, the story, the title of the film on its own doesn't need the big faces to sell it. So that just broke my heart to a large extent, because in my head I'm like, casting, like, this is just The Woman King 2.0, and there's so many other black actors that you could have casted. There's so many black, British, culturally mixed actors who are Nigerian American or Nigerian British actors that you could have casted for this role. There are a lot of them. This lady that played Bob Hart's Abisola, she's full Nigerian, has a strong Nigerian accent. What is wrong with someone like that being casted for Viola Davis' role, for example? My opinion is like, this Viola Davis that you're making to play this role, she has never even been to Nigeria at any point. Big shout out to her. She's a Hollywood great. I love and respect Viola Davis, so don't get it twisted. But I feel like from a production perspective, from a cultural perspective, you could have done better, you know. And then hearing Beyonce's voice in the trailer, oh God, oh my God. See, oh God, that was heartbreaking. And it wasn't just about hearing Beyonce. Don't get me wrong, go shout out to all the beehives, and I don't want trouble with all the beehives and all that. But my problem is the fact that why Beyonce? Like, Beyonce, if they've already used her voice to sell The Lion King. She's like an executive producer on The Lion King. No creative genius behind all this music production of this project that you will now decide that the only best person you could have used to sell, the best voice that you could have used to sell this film was Beyonce's voice. In a world where we have so many talented singers, we have Tems, we have Ira Star in Nigeria. Let's even talk about Nigeria. We have Tems, we have Ira Star, we have Yemi Alade, we have Tiwa Savage. Oh, if you now say, oh, you don't want to use them because they are not big enough, there are so many other singers you could have used except for Beyonce. Of course, I found out that, of course, Tems is an executive producer on the album for the film, on the music album for the film. And I also think Burna Boy is an executive consultant in making the songs or selecting the songs for the film. That's fine, but after all that, you now still decided to use Beyonce's voice or Beyonce's song to push the trailer. Come on, make it make sense. Please make it make sense. Now, this one actually broke my heart more. Why? It's a Yoruba story, right? And if you want to talk about the Yoruba tribe across the world, before you talk about the Yoruba tribe in Brazil or the whole of South America, you will first of all talk about the Yoruba tribe in Nigeria. In today's world, if you mention Yoruba, you mention Nigeria. If you mention Nigeria, you'll mention Yoruba. Before you now mention Brazil and Yoruba, before you now mention South America and Yoruba, you'll mention Nigeria first and then mention Yoruba. So why would you do that? Or Nigeria, right? Why would you now cast a whole RMD in your film, which I doubt if he has more than 1 or 2 scenes, but let's even say you now decide to cast a whole RMD, but you don't even give him credits. You're giving credits to all the actors. You put their names, you wrote the name of all these young, relatively upcoming actors and known actors as well. Don't get me wrong, so many of the actors are known, right? You put all their names bold, you wrote all their names boldly on the screen while you're introducing them, and you still did not do that for RMD. And he's the only Nigerian actor, like full-on Nigerian, not all these British Nigerian, British American Nigerian. He's the only full-on Nigerian actor in this film, and you decided not to give him credit in your trailer. That really broke my heart, to be honest. I'm not fighting for RMD, don't get me wrong. I'm fighting for the culture. I'm fighting for our industry. And honestly, I was really disappointed, you know, when I saw that. And in my head, I'm like, why not just say Richard Mofe-Damejo? You don't need to just put it, just write it. It won't cost you anything to type out the name, but you removed it. And I know it's intentional. It's the same thing they did in the trailer of The Woman King when they casted Jimi Odukoya, who is the main antagonist in the film, who is the main bad guy in the film, and they still did not give him any shouts in the trailer or after the film. Nobody spoke about him, but he was a prominent character in the film itself. Make it make sense. Just read between the lines and make your own conclusions. That's what I think. This one now tops it. To top it all off, what is with the South African English accent, especially for a Nigerian story? Like, how does that make sense to you guys? Why would you use a South African English accent on a Nigerian story? Just like a Nigerian story or a Nigerian epic story, and then everybody are talking like South Africans. Everybody speaking in. Let's assume that, okay, you want it to be universally acceptable, so you decided to go with English. But why not use a Nigerian English accent? Why the South African English accent? And you guys do it every time. Like, it is disgusting. It is embarrassing. It is an insult to the Nigerian people, the Nigerian accent, the Nigerian culture, the Yoruba culture. It's an insult to even our industry as a whole. But I'm not even surprised. They can boldly insult our industry because the whole GDP of our industry can't even fund one of any of Hollywood's biggest films. Why? So why won't they come and insult us like that? Honestly, that's the way I see it. The whole GDP of Nollywood can't even fund one blockbuster Hollywood film. That is why they can get away with stuff like this. Because a Yoruba story, a Yoruba mythological fantasy, right? And then you decide that everyone speaking English should sound like South African. Like, should sound South African, should have a South African accent. Make it make sense. Like, please make it make sense, you know. So these are things that I saw that really broke my heart about this trailer. My only hope is that the story is great. Even though apparently the writer of the novel literally distanced herself from the film or from the entire production last year. Oh, I saw her name in the credits, so she even got 2 credits. That one, I don't know. We're probably going to get an explanation for why she got 2 credits. I think she got a credit as a writer. She also got a credit as the author of the book, you know, because it's a book adaptation. So she got credits as the author of the book, and then got credits as a writer in the film itself. Do you understand? So we'll probably get an explanation as to why, you know, that happened. But apparently sometime last year she came out distancing herself from the story and the production of the film because she felt like it wasn't what the execution of the story and what she envisioned is not, you know, matching each other. You know, for example, the lead character is supposed to be a full-on black woman, you know, with dark hair and a black skin tone, but then she's almost like a mixed, you know, like they call in our own parts of the world, we call them the half caste. She's almost like a mixed raced woman, you know. But in the story, the original story, it's supposed to be a full-on black woman. I mean, this also goes to tell you that he who pays the piper dictates the tone. If I'm paying you to sing my praise, or if I'm paying you to sing for me, it is the way I want you to sing that you will sing. If not, I'm not going to pay you. That's the way. If not, you're just going to say okay, I don't want your money and go away because I want to sing the way I want to sing. But if you want to collect my money, you're gonna have to sing the way I want you to sing. That's exactly what played out here. It's a case of he who pays the piper dictates the tone. If they knew for them, it's a case of I can buy your story, we can acquire a story, we're going to make you an offer that you cannot say no to, especially for someone like Femi Adeyemi, that's like a first breakthrough as a writer, and then you offer her this kind of opportunity. It will probably be hard for her to say no. And then the moment they pay and have rights to produce the book or to produce the story as a film, then they also have the rights to tell the story the way they want to tell it, cast whoever they want to cast. They can choose to ignore the authenticity of the book and then decide to execute it the way they want, sell the story the way they want, market it the way they want, because according to them, they have to make their money back. And that's where the problem is. And that is why I will always fight for local IP, that's intellectual property, local IP, local story, and local funding. Because with local funding, you can retain your IP and keep your story, make your story as authentic as you want it to be. Nobody will come and tell you that push this narrative. Nobody will try to push a different narrative with your story. Nobody will try to say, okay, we want to use this story to push a different narrative because we've paid you and we want the book to sell, so let's push it in this direction. Whereas the book itself or the story that is being told now loses its own authenticity, if you get what I mean. And in this case, that's exactly what played out. They paid for it. They paid for the acquisition of the rights of the book, to make it into a film, and then they chose to decide whatever they wanted to do, with the story. But for me personally, I think this is why we need to encourage, especially the private sector. We need more private sector investment in local IPs, in local stories, in local productions. I know that there are some things that we still need to get right. Like, for example, we need more cinema screens locally and across the whole of West Africa. Obviously, we also need a better distribution plan and a distribution structure so people can make their money back when they invest in our films. But at the same time, we need local funding. Local funding needs to be encouraged. Private sector, please come and save this industry. Private sector, please come and save Nollywood. Save us so we can keep our story and retain the authentic stories that are authentic to our culture, stories that are authentic to our lifestyle, stories that are authentic to who we are. We need these stories to come out, and the only way they can come out and we can push our own narrative, tell our stories the way we want them to be told, is if we get enough funding locally and push it harder. It is really, really important. Local funding for local intellectual properties and local stories needs to be encouraged more. So personally, this is my take. I want to hear what you guys think. If you guys disagree, I won't lie to you guys, I'm also looking forward to seeing the film, because if they got all these things wrong and then get the story right, it not makes up completely, because we're still going to talk about the flaws, but at least it encourages you to want to watch the film more, if you get what I mean. But at the same time, this is how I feel, and it's only fair that we come out and talk about these things, because if we don't talk about these things, ain't nobody doing it for us. Don't nobody gonna do it for us. We have to come out and speak about these things, because it just can't continue like this. We cannot have people tell our stories better than us. Not better than us, tell our stories the way they want it to be told, create their own narrative of what our story is, whereas our story is not even, whereas what they are telling is not even as authentic as it should be, because it's not being told by the people who have lived the experiences, or who have lived through what our story feels like, if you get what I mean. So this is my thoughts. I want to hear what you guys think about this. I want to hear what you guys feel. I want to know how you guys feel about the trailer. If you disagree with everything I said, let me know as well in the comments. Let's just banter and talk about this. Thank you so much for watching my video. See you on the next one. Please don't hesitate to like, share, subscribe, and let the world know what we're doing here. Love, guys.